The cameras caught everything. The argument, the humiliation, the look on her face as a first-class passenger demanded she move to the back of the plane. He thought he was putting someone in their place. He had no idea that the woman he just embarrassed was about to own his future. Literally. By the time the plane landed, his reputation, his career, and everything he'd built would be in free fall. Because the woman he tried to shame wasn't just a passenger. She was the incoming CEO of the company that signed his paycheck. And what she did next, the internet would never forget. It was supposed to be a smooth flight from Chicago to San Francisco, a corporate route filled with power suits, laptops, and ambition. Among the first-class passengers sat Ava Carter, a quiet woman in her late 30s with an air of calm confidence. She wasn't flashy, but there was something magnetic about her presence. Composed, self-assured, unbothered. She had just been appointed as CEO of a global logistics firm, taking over after years of building her career from scratch. But her promotion hadn't been announced publicly yet. Only the board knew. This flight, for her, was just another step toward a new beginning. Across the aisle sat Richard Hale, a senior vice president at the same company. Though he didn't know who Ava was, he noticed her as soon as she boarded. The sight of a black woman settling into first class made him tighten his jaw. She didn't look like the kind of person he was used to sharing space with. And as the plane filled, his irritation grew. By the time the cabin door closed, he was convinced there had been a mistake. And he was about to make sure everyone knew it. The flight attendant had just begun safety checks when Richard pressed the call button. Loudly, the kind of loud that draws attention. He pointed toward Ava's seat and asked, "Are you sure she's supposed to be here?" The question sliced through the cabin like turbulence. Conversations paused. Heads turned. Ava didn't move. She'd heard words like that before. The attendant, clearly flustered, explained that every first-class passenger was verified before boarding. But Richard leaned back with a smirk and said, "Just making sure. Some people get creative with upgrades." The humiliation was public, deliberate, and ugly. Ava kept her composure. Years in business had taught her that power wasn't proven by reaction, it was proven by restraint. Still, she could feel the stares, the quiet judgment from those who didn't know the truth. The attendant apologized softly. Ava smiled and said it was fine. But it wasn't fine. Not because of his words, but because this was still happening. Even here, 30,000 feet in the air. Hours passed. Richard made snide remarks about professionalism, bragged about his company position, and even hinted that some people get special treatment these days. The irony was bitter. He was boasting about a company she now owned in title and vision. When the flight landed, Richard pushed ahead, eager to get off first. He didn't notice the black car waiting at the terminal or the driver holding a sign that read, "Ms. Ava Carter, CEO, Hale and Miles Logistics." His smirk disappeared when Ava shook hands with the welcoming board members. She turned slightly, her eyes finding his across the terminal. That same calm confidence, but now with power behind it. And in that moment, Richard realized who she was. The next morning, the company's headquarters buzzed. Word had spread fast about a plane incident involving a senior VP and the new CEO. Someone had filmed it. The video was everywhere. Executive Harris's black woman in first class. Karma lands before takeoff. It had millions of views in hours. When Richard walked into the boardroom, the atmosphere was ice. His bravado was gone. His eyes darted between colleagues whispering under their breath. Ava entered moments later. Calm, poised, unreadable. She didn't mention the video. She didn't have to. Instead, she spoke about leadership, dignity, and representation. About how culture starts at the top and how silence enables rot. Every word was professional, but everyone knew who it was for. By the end of the meeting, a single announcement silenced the room. Effective immediately, all senior roles will undergo review for conduct alignment. Richard didn't need an explanation. He'd written his own exit letter at 30,000 feet. Days later, the company issued a statement reaffirming its commitment to equality and inclusion. Ava never mentioned Richard by name, but the message was clear. Asterisk leadership is not measured by power. It's measured by how we treat people who can do nothing for us. Asterisk. Richard's resignation was framed as voluntary, but everyone knew the truth. His career never recovered. The internet never forgot. That video, that 30-second clip of arrogance and ignorance, became a permanent record of who he really was. As for Ava, she led the company into one of its most successful years. Quietly, gracefully, without revenge, just purpose. She understood something most people never learn. The real win isn't proving someone wrong. It's proving yourself right without ever lowering your worth. Sometimes karma doesn't knock on your door. It boards your flight, sits beside you, and waits, patiently, for you to reveal who you really are. And when that truth finally takes off, no apology can bring you back to earth.